Primavera P6. That's a project management tool. And the current version we are talking about is 16.1. And a bit of introduction about me. I am working with working with an organization or a couple of organizations as an Oracle Primavera consultant. I'm in this this profession since 2006, 2007. I'm a certified PMP, CSM, Prince2, ITL, etc. And most importantly, I'm certified in Primavera product. There are 5 to 6 Primavera products, but we are going to talk about Oracle Primavera P6. That's the project management and project scheduling tool. Right. Let's begin the session with what's exactly this Primavera 16.1, why we are talking about Primavera in such a big level, and what is this technology base, and then what are the advantages, what you are going to do with Primavera 16.1 or P6. And what is exactly the core structure or the the entire project structures is located. Starting with Primavera 16.1, the technology we are talking about, you always get to hear 2 things. One is a client version, one is a web. Same. Both are same. The only difference is that client you can install .exe file on your laptop or on your desktop, but web you need to have in a bigger infrastructure setup where you have a couple of servers, middleware, etc. Then you can access from internet from anywhere. So now we are not getting into the web access related. It's a plain and simple client version, and then what exactly the client will do, what are the the structure, how the flow should be, etc. We will discuss going forward. It's a standard Windows interface. You talked about the client. It's a standard Windows interface. Client server architecture, that's just now I have given that. And it is having Oracle and Microsoft SQL. Guys, there is a bit of disturbance in the back, please. Right. Okay. Primavera P6, it's in a front-end application where the back-end is pretty much on Microsoft as well as Oracle. There are some questions that why Oracle, why Microsoft. Primavera itself is in a company since till 2007 or 8, and then Oracle acquired. Till that point, it is running on SQL Server database. Whether you having some IT knowledge or not doesn't matter. I'm just now Oracle has acquired, and then they have given the Oracle database and also supporting Microsoft SQL Server. That's the brief technical understanding of Primavera 16.1. Now, the important aspect of this or important agenda item is what are the advantages of P6 or Primavera P6 16.1. It's the world #1 PPM tool. PPM is Project Portfolio Management. That has given by the Gartner chart. Best to manage schedule for large engineering and construction projects. You might ask a question that, is it only for engineering and construction or E&C? Why not oil and gas? Yes, oil and gas too. I'm talking about engineering that falls under oil and gas. So you talk about IT, yes. Engineering and construction, yes. Oil and gas, yes. Infrastructure, yes. Pharmaceutical, yes. New product development, yes. You can use this tool for everything or for any industry at any time, at any point. Now, what exactly we're talking about P6 is predominantly scheduling and planning, or planning and scheduling. You don't really do much with cost management in Primavera or risk management. Those who are having some PMP or PMBO, and we are talking about time or schedule in P6, nothing else. Yes, you can manage cost. Yes, you can manage risk. You can manage portfolios, but we are not going to talk about that. We are going to talk about scheduling and planning, or you can say monitoring and controlling using this tool, because this tool is capable of doing that part only. Now, this tool is having an advantage. People talk about capacity planning or future resource planning, that is called future bucket planning. That again we'll talk, probably going forward, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, whenever we have some time on this. Schedule, cost, and resource forecast. Again, my assumption here is that we are not touching the cost part. We will be touching the overall Primavera product in 16.1, what we can do related to the schedule as well as the resource forecasts. Right. This is, for me, this is the important and major slide with regards to the P6. What you're going to do, what you can do using this tool. End-to-end project management, you definitely can do. Portfolio management, yes, there is a module within this, resource management, schedule and cost management. Here, if I say schedule and cost management in brackets, it will be the entire project management along with change management, on value management, budgeting. Collaboration is nothing but communication with the team or with the project, vendors, stakeholders, etc. Complex reporting. Everybody talk about the tool, everybody talk about the work, etc. But the top management always wants a simple report saying that what is my project status, whether I am in loss or in profit, simple. So that complex reporting, though it is just a tool, all right. It's all good, right? All right. Complex reporting. People say that it's just a two simple lines for the top management. No, to arrive at that reporting status of two lines, you need to have a lot of statistics, analyzation, and then the merging of that each and every statistics. So for that, you need to have a complex reporting that can be done using Primavera P6. Customization. Now, I have just talked about that. Can I use it for engineering and construction? Can I use it for oil and gas? Can I use it for my own purpose? Can I use it for new product development? Yes, that's what we are talking about, the customization. For any industry, you can customize this Primavera P6 tool for at any level for anything. Issue and risk tracking, yes, you can do. You can have a project where you can create an issues and then following up with the issues and then risk assigned to each activity, each task, following up with that, what is the risk response, what is my risk score, everything can be done. Again, mobility, we are always talking about the Android phones or iOS phones or all apps. So here is what Primavera P6 can give you. There is a mobility app. You can go to Android, Play Store or iOS. You can download an app. You can configure that. You can use it while on you go. So it's what you call is update or work as you go. So that's what is all about mobility. Now, why Primavera? Why not my other project management tools? Sorry guys, I'll just I'll complete this slide and then I'll get into the the application. Why Primavera? Primavera is suitable for any kind of an enterprise business. You talk about small, medium, large, you can use this tool to manage the entire project. Primavera rated as world's most used and best PPM solution provided for the last 12 years. Primavera has started its journey in 1984, I think. Yeah. Since 1999 onwards, I think we are pretty much the Primavera application is itself rated as a top tool. One solution that we discussed based on the recent statistics, more than, sorry guys, I just lost, yeah. All right. Based on the recent statistics, more than 375 of the 500 Fortune top engineering companies across the globe use of Primavera products. Gartner named Primavera as a leader in its most recent Magic Quadrant for cloud-based project and portfolio management. And just for your note, I'm just giving an understanding of what is exactly the cloud. Nowadays, nobody bothers about, or nobody is interested in managing the entire infrastructure, that is servers, application servers, middleware, everything related to the IT infrastructure. So everything is moving into cloud. Say X company is managing entire application, they'll just give you one link. So you have to pay a monthly fee, and then that's it. You don't have to bother about anything. It's just like, you pay via credit card and use the service. That's it. That's a cloud. So related to the cloud-based project and portfolio management, again, Primavera has been the leader and will be the leader in future. With that, I will enter into the application with this slide. It is or structure. What is my, we talk about an application, or we talk about, say, a book or an application or a software. It's always like, there is always the first item is agenda or index or contents. What is there for Primavera? First one is EPS, enterprise project structure. How you want to structure your common example, maybe Indian IT company. Say you have a TCS, there are different groups in TCS. One group is only serving for oil and gas division, one group is only serving for probably manufacturing, one group is only serving for probably infrastructure, etc. So that's how you have to customize or configure your application. That's called enterprise project structure. OBS, it's nothing but, for each EBS element, you are just putting one responsible manager. For entire oil and gas division projects, it will be some, say Shiva. So that's a guy, Shiva, who is managing this. That's called organization breakdown structure. So I'm organizing my entire HR at a top management level in relations with the EPS. And probably everybody knows WBS, work breakdown structure, activities and steps, scheduling, activity, and WBS course. We'll talk about that in 5 minutes. We'll go through one by one. Global and project data, resources and roles, baselining, tracking, and reports, and finally application administration. Now, if you see my screen, till baselining, till this point, this is the planning part. Baselining, that's the planning part. And from tracking, reports, application administration, that's part of scheduling and monitoring and controlling. With this, we are heading into the application layer. Now, let me show you that how the application looks. Right. Okay, guys. Can you see my screen, everyone? I hope it is yes. All right. Now, this is the first screen you're gonna see. Just for our note again, I'll explain that where you're gonna get this application, where you can download only for your personal use, not for commercial. I'm going to explain that, but just concentrate on what we are going to discuss. Now, when you open up the Primavera P6 professional or a client version, you will be able to see the screen. So this is the first screen you are going to see. Don't get confused or don't get annoyed with these so many options, so many buttons, or so many menu options over here. You don't have to bother about that at this point, please. Now, how we are going to start this application. So I'm just going to run into example. I'm going to create a project for today demo. I'm going to create a project. I'm going to assign something, all the global or project data. And then from there, we'll complete the planning aspect of the project. And then we'll jump into a bit of scheduling and monitoring and controlling. And in the final probably last 15 to 20 minutes, we'll discuss about navigation, how you do that and all. So while I'm explaining about the project creation as well as the scheduling, planning, controlling, you will be able to see the navigation again. And also I'll be explaining that in the last 15 minutes, where to go, what to do. Right. With that, I'm gonna start this demo now. Now, whenever you open up this Primavera P6, the first and foremost thing is you have to go to Enterprise. There is a button called Enterprise. This will be visible for every user across the organization where you are going to work for. So now, Enterprises, you go to the Enterprise, click on the projects, and then this screen will appear first and foremost. Now, so these are now if you see that, just follow what I'm trying to say. Now, you just go over here and put a cursor over here and then just put it here. if you can see here, this is enterprise. Say, I'm going to say this as TCS, whatever the company you're talking about. So this is my company. This is my company. And I have, don't worry about the project name at this point. I have a TCS here. Under the TCS, you have a different divisions. Engineering and construction, energy services, manufacturing, product development, corporate programs, information technology. So the first and foremost thing is that you have to create this diamond-shaped activity called enterprise project structure. So the first step is to create this. Click on this. You will have one more screen appears. You go here and you start creating it. If it is already existing, you can. So now you want to create something here. There is a button called add. Create over here. Check one. And then what is that? Demo. Simple. So you have created one, what we call in general language, in project management language, or company or organization language, SBU, or just a BU, business unit, or a strategic business unit. So we are creating a one business unit. Now we have created it and then close. Okay. So now we are going to check that where it is. So now go scroll down to the the bottom page. There you can see the demo creation. So this is your SBU now. So you click on this and you go to the general page here. Okay, you go to the general page. Can you see general tab here again? And then there is a responsible manager here. So there is a response. So you are assigning for that business unit, you are assigning a responsible manager. So now you can see that these are the responsible managers I have created already, but we will see that where you want to create that again. So now at this point, I'm just assigning, say, a corporate guy. I have not given the names, I have given a generic only. So now you are going to assign this guy. You click on this. So you're going to click on this. So you have assigned this corporate person. So now the first and foremost point is that you have created an EPS, that's your business unit for your company. You have created that. And you have assigned an OBS. Now we will see that where you are going to create these resources or OBS. Now you created an EBS, and these all are pretty much it's up to us like how much data you want to put in. It's all about the customization. Notebook, it's related to the demo creation business unit. So if you say that this demo creation or this business unit is all about, say, oil and gas, you can add the each notebook topic, but we don't get into that. So now you created an enterprise structure, and now move on to the second one, that is called OBS, organization breakdown structure. You create on the OBS. How are you going to create? Now, when you open up that, make sure that all the time you go over here, you filter it by all OBS elements. So this is your organization hierarchy, just like our, our what you call role or designation hierarchy in every company. So now you want to create a new hierarchy or a new person. So I'm going to create. Okay, now this guy should be at the top. You can do that by using these arrows here. So you click on this and then move it up. So right at the top. So now if you say that this enterprise talking about PCS, maybe, say, I don't know his name, but Chandrasekhar maybe say. So that's the guy who is managing the, entire TCS consulting or TCS services. Now, under Chandrasekhar, if you say that, maybe say Samba. So this is the guy who is reporting to Chandrasekhar and who is gonna take care about the demo creation SBU over here. So you created it and then you put it here, and then you can write, you can assign a responsibility, but don't get into that. You create a general OBS name and that's it. You can write it whatever that, and then close this. So you have created EPS, you have just created OBS. Now it's up to us to assign that. Now go over here and select that where it is. Now select Samba. So that's it. So now it's got selected. So what you have done is that you have created a business unit and then you have assigned the responsible person for that. So with that, EPS, OBS part is done. Now there are so many details that you can add to or configure, that is topic, budget log, a spending plan, budget summary, that probably we'll take it step by step, not get into that. So now once you have an EPS, once you have an OBS, what is the next priority? So now you need to create a project. So now again, see guys, initially when you are setting up the projects, global data, this is called global data. Like you're creating your organization structure and then the project structure, assigning it, creating projects, etc. It's all called global data. When you are doing that global data part, you always end up going into this menu option that's called enterprise. Now coming back to that, now you have to click on the projects. You have to click on over here. You just click on this check one demo creation. You click on your right hand side, there is a plus button, add, click on over here. You will have a project. You will have a project over here. You click on this, you will get a new window. Select EPS. Since you are clicked on the new this demo creation, BUR EPS, guys, try to remember the language for Primavera. EPS, this is called. So now when you click on the EPS, it takes you to the default place that is called demo creation, or if you want to change that to, it will open up that. If you click on this small button here, 3 dots button, it will give you one more window. It is nothing but another window of EPS, the same window. So now you're gonna go over here, you can select your, the EPS, click on plus sign, or you can click on the related EPS and click on enter. It will get selected and then click on next. Now what is your project ID? This is pretty much given. You have, whenever you have a project ID, whenever you have a project initiation, then probably from charter you can get the project ID, project name, etc. Say project underscore demo for me. What is that? This is called as demo project. Now you have created a demo project. Next, click on next. Remember to put a plan started. Maybe say you don't have to put the exact plan state. That's why we are talking about a plan. So click on that, say probably I'm going to start from Monday 1st. Select that. And then don't put must finish by. If you guys are from the project management background, then probably you'll be aware of this. These are called hard constraint or mandatory constraints. The moment you add something to must finish, must start, etc., must finish on or before, etc., it will become a hard constraint, and it will have an implications on the scheduling part. So on a general note, don't put anything for must finish, even though you are having a serious restriction on the finish date. So put everything related to the project plan start date, select the date, go to next. Responsible manager, since you have selected this SBU, that responsible manager will auto select it. But still, if you think that no, for this project, the manager will be a different guy who is reporting to Samba, yes, okay, fine, go ahead and select that guy. Maybe say you are thinking that maybe LOB2, you can select that and click on next. It's all about selecting who is responsible for this project. Select next. And then rate type. There are different rate types we are talking about. There are external rates, internal rates, price per unit, etc. These are different rate types. Example, in IT or in a construction language, we say, 8 hours, morning 9 to evening 5, this project will be conducted or this project will be executed. For these 8 hours, we'll be charging per day or per hour 50 or say 5,000 rupees per hour. That's it. That's a standard rate. If you talk about say internal rate, maybe it is an internal project, that's why I'm not going to charge much. And then there is some standards that you have to customize or configure in Primavera for internal rates. So now at this point we are just selecting the standard rate. Standard is nothing but 10 to 6 or 9 to 5, and whatever the standard rates applicable across the country, across the that specific project or according to the contract. So that is next. Now once you clicked on that, just for your information, whatever we have whatever we have entered some data, that you always can reconfigure again, going back to the same project again. You have probably have not given the right name, right project ID, right rate type, etc. You can always go back, you can change that. But with that, there is a little more customization or configuration, additional configuration required. So now once you are done, your new project has been created. Unless you click on finish, it won't appear with the right name or right ID in the EPS structure. So now you click on finish. Let the cursor go off here, the round one I'm talking about. So now once you are done with that, now you can see your project, and whatever you see over here, and if you observe closely, this is in open folder state. That means this project has been opened or created just now. That's the language we use in Primavera P6. Now you have created a project. So what is this? What is the flow? EPS. You have created an OBS or related OBS, and then you have created a project under that. So in general project management language, how the project management will be done, how projects are executed or monitored or controlled. So you will have a scope, you will have a charter, project charter, you will have a scope document, you will finalize everything, you will initiate the project, you will assign the project manager, and then you will start building blocks, etc. So now what we have done, we have just created a project. That's it. We have not done anything. Now, if you say that I have a project budget, I have a I'm working not in India, I'm working in probably South Africa, so I have to follow South Africa calendar or South Africa work rates, labor policies, etc. That you have to configure. Okay. So now where you're going to do that? For this demo purpose, we just don't want to get into the tabs over here. I'm going to get into a defaults button. Guys, again, you click on this demo project, go to the general, and there are some details here at this point. Let me complete the defaults where you're going to configure the important items and then come back to the general. You click on the project and go to the defaults. Now, first and foremost thing is that the calendar. It is always this way you need to approach to work in Primavera or to create something in Primavera. Now, if you talk about the calendar, there are some calendars already created or we can create. That we will see it in slowly. Now, calendar. Okay, what is your calendar type? You create your own calendars as per your holidays, as per the country specific requirements, or as per the project requirements. Now, some people say that I want to go with the 24x7, which is not in reality, but still you can create that. If you want, you can create 24x6. If you can say that probably 5 to 10 corporate standard full time or trades 5-day work week. In general, this is what the default one. So I'll select this trades. So my timeline or working hours per day would be 8 hours, 5 days in a week. So I have selected the calendar. Now, come to the bottom one, auto numbering defaults. No, what is this auto numbering defaults? You have a project and you will have the small building blocks. That's what we call as in WBS, work breakdown structure, and then we'll have a tasks or activities. Remember guys, in Microsoft project we call this as a tasks, and in Primavera we call this as activity or activities. Now, what is this? We are suggesting system to take the default values. I don't want to come all the time and then edit the activity ID for every time I add any activity. So one time you're just fixing it. My activity ID should be demo project DP, and the activity ID suffix should be always starts with 1000. People will ask why 1000, why not 10? Yes, you can. But in general, as per the US Army rule, because they only developed this application, as per their rules and regulation, internal rules and regulation, they have started using four numbers. So that's how it has. If you want to use 5 numbers, you can use all the time, no problem. And just for our demo sake, we'll just put the same default and increments 10. So for each activity increment, it will be 1000, 1010, 1020, etc. Now, this is pretty important. for as far as the Primavera project management or project scale. What is the default for new activity or for every activity? Okay. I'm getting the background noise, man. All right. Defaults for new activities. When we say that, defaults. So for every activity, see, though we are talking about enterprise project structure, that is EPS, OBS project, finally, we always talk about a number of activities, that activity related, building blocks or, what is a master data, etc. To configure master data in a right way or in a right approach, we have to configure these defaults. Duration type. There are so many different types over here. What is this fixed duration and units? You're talking about fixed duration, say, 5 days for whatever the activity you selected. For that activity, 5 days and the resources, units. Or you talk about fixed duration and units per time, or just a purely fixed units. Irrespective of the duration, I don't care whatever the duration you can add, but my resource effort, units means effort or resource number, man, nothing else. So when you say, guys, I'm getting the background noise. All right, good. Oh, thanks. Now, duration type, there are different types. Fixed duration and units. There is a fixed duration. There are fixed units. There is a fixed duration, but that units will be based on the time phrase that we will discuss. Fixed units, irrespective of the time you give 1,000 days for that activity, I don't care. But I'll only talking about 2 resources, 20 days. That's it. 8 hours. That's it. So that is called fixed units. Fixed units per time. For this period, okay, for this quarter, I'll give only 40 hours of that resource. That's it. Nothing else. When we say that fixed units per time, where we're going to use this? In general, it is time and material. In time and material, there are contracts for every project to execute. There is there are specific contract types we're going to use. In general, in India, I don't think so we have much into time and material, but those who are into IT, they are definitely aware of this time and material. So you spend 5 hours, they will reimburse all the 5 hours per hour cost as well as expenses. So fixed units and fixed units per time in general used by the T&M contract types. And fixed duration and units per time will be for all other contracting type. Whether it is a fixed price or cost plus incentive, etc., cost plus all types can be used for this kind of a duration type. Now, in general, I have seen so many projects executed using Primavera, 99.99% will be using fixed duration and units type. So I have selected that. Now, what is percent complete type? Here again, there are 3: duration, physical, units. And it is closely, this percent complete type is closely linked or related to duration type. Now, if I select, suppose, say, fixed units, then I must and definitely have to select units, because my project is running based on the number of units, and you cannot, for that type of project, you cannot put duration is the base to say that what percent I have completed on my project or on my entire activity list. Now, if you select this is no relevant, and then Primavera will calculating differently, which is not going to help us at all. So now, when you put on fixed units, it's a mandatory that you need to select units. That means you are selecting a right combination, and which means it will give you the best output and best reporting scenarios. Now, what are the different type? Duration. Now, duration will be selected only for these 2. Fixed duration and units, fixed duration and unit. For these 2 duration type scenarios, you can select duration type. And what is this, units we discussed? duration we discussed. What is this physical? On a general note, 99.99% times people are using, or organizations are interested in using only this type of percentage complete type. Why? Because we are not going to look at the duration, and then we are not going to look at units. We are not going to look at anything else, because Primavera has been developed for duration and units with auto configuration or auto default calculation. The moment you select duration or units type, it calculates the percentage of the project completion, everything, in an auto default way. And the moment you select physical, there is a mandatory requirement that you have to punch in the data daily, weekly, or whatever your project requirement says. So now you select anything on the duration type, that the first default value, fixed duration and units, fixed units, etc. It doesn't matter. So you have to select, if you select physical, and that's it. That means you have to update manually. And why people are preferring physical? Because let's take an example. So you have one activity is on fixed duration and units, one activity is on fixed units. And that activity we say 5 days, probably 3 resources, that means 30 hours for 5 days. Now there is another activity only for 40 hours and irrespective of duration, etc. Now, if you put a system that you have selected probably duration or units, once you are done on the first day, it automatically takes that out of 5 days, first day is done, that means 1 by 5. That means 20% of your work has been completed. But that's not the but that's not the true situation at the site, right? You might be ending up, not doing that 20% of the work, or you have not yet started because of so many, issues at the site, from client side, etc. So if you select the duration, then what happens is system automatically calculates and says that you have already completed 20% of your work, which is not true, which might not be true. So it's better that you select physical, and there will be a dedicated resource who will be updating all the details in Primavera P6. That resource will go there, and he will update this activity progress based on the DPR. That's a daily progress report, or weekly progress report, or monthly progress report, whatever it is we call. So it is always, on a final note, we can say it is better to select a physical irrespective of the duration type. Simple. Now, I am telling that this is the most important tab or default list. Within this important list, this will be the most used or most important selection. Now, what is this activity type? For every activity in general, for every activity, it will consume time, or it needs time, men, machine, materials. That means time, resources, which is including including the cost, etc. So that we call as a task. So it's a task dependent. For every activity, to execute a single activity in a project, you need time, you need resources. Resources can be it machine, men, material, whatever it is. That type of activity will be under task dependent, or will be task dependent. Example, you take in a simple road construction. In a road construction, you want to, say you want to construct one 50-kilometer road. The first activity, could be or would be that you need to remove the existing soil, you need to remove the trees on your side roads, etc. When you are removing that is a task. You take that as a task. For that task, you definitely need some time, maybe 5 days, and you need some, JCBs, procliners and all. You need labor, and obviously we are telling that we need money to pay to labor as well as for JCBs, etc. So what we need all the resources as well as some time we need to complete that, portion of that, activity or phase, whatever you call. So now, on a simple note, for any activity which is depends or which requires some time as well as resources, that will be treated as a task dependent in a plain language. In a project management, as per the PMBOK or Prince2, there are some different lines. What is task dependent? What is the resource dependent, etc. But for a general purpose, I've just given the layman language. Now, in general, we should not have in a project. In general, we should not have more than, or we should have a minimum of 90% task dependent activities. 90% task dependent activities. That's the minimum standard, we can say, or a minimum requirement. Now, what are the different activity types? Now, we are done with the task dependent. Now, let's go to start milestone. What is the start milestone? Start milestone is nothing but when you are about to start a project, or we call this as an event. It will not consume anything. It is just a blink, eye blinker, you can say. When you say, okay, my project has started, that's it. It's a milestone. Or you take in middle, intermediate milestone. You take in the finish, project has been completed, finish milestone. So my project has started, that's a milestone. My project has gone into, say, 50% of the work has been done, that's another intermediate milestone. My finish milestone should be, my project has been successfully completed. That's my milestone. So milestone is an indicator. Normally what we have that, milestone means something really achieved. That's not the real meaning of the milestone. Milestone is just an indication that we have completed this portion of work, or we have completed a specific portion of the work based on that, the payment system, etc. But what we are suggesting here with this milestone concept is we are telling that a significant event that has occurred. We are telling them, okay, a start milestone, that means my project has been started. So that's a significant milestone for any project. Completed or finished, that's again a significant milestone, significant event. So in general, for start milestone, intermediate milestone, or for finish milestone, or whatever the type you call that as, for any milestone, there will be a zero duration and there will not be any resources assigned to that. And the Primavera, fortunately, it will not allow you to assign anything. The moment you select your activity type as a start milestone or a finish milestone, it will not allow you to do anything on that other than put the dates. Now, you select a start milestone, then that activity, we'll see that again. So start milestone, pretty much the same. Finish milestone, both are interdependent or dependent. Start milestone, project starting, you will use. Finish milestone, automatically it will use in the finish. It will not have any start date. That we will see that how the duration, how the dates we are going to put across. But these are the general types. Now, so with that start milestone and finish milestone, we will move into level of effort. Level of effort is nothing but, we are not going to consider that as a task or a milestone. Though it is an activity type, we don't really bother about this. In general, example, let's say, daily meetings or daily visits to the site. Though it is like, it's an activity, you need some time, you need some money and all, it's not going to affect my project dearly. So you go to the office, you get into the meeting, you discuss and you come out, you start working on your project activities. That meeting is mandatory, or that meeting is, confirmed all the time. You always go to that meeting, but there is no real output that will, be on project. You don't bring any output for the project. It's just on a meeting. You go there, you complete, you come out. That's it. So it is like an ongoing, repetitive activity. All level of efforts called as an ongoing, repetitive activity. Maybe say, in general, or lunch during office hours, or lunch. Whether you do something or not, but we will go at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. That's the level of effort. It's just a view that, on a project, I want to see that activity so that, I'll be on a safe mode saying that yes, daily meetings also included. If you don't include this activity type or this specific activity, people will think that where is my daily meetings? I need to see all the activities on a project that is happening. So that's the reason we just put the level of effort, but normally not more than 2 to 3 activities. Now, with those others, you can resource dependent and WBS summary. We will get into that, but at this point, these are irrelevant. Or irrelevant, and then definitely we'll discuss, one way or the other way when you're talking about, when we are, deep diving into the, Primavera P6. At this point, you need to look at task dependent. That's the predominantly used activity type, and then start milestone, finish milestone, and then last priority could be or would be to level of effort. So I have selected now task dependent. Now, okay, when we say that, why we are selecting defaults in this EPS screen itself. So what happens if you don't select here in the right way? So whenever you're going to create, so after this it will be WBS, work breakdown structure, and then you start creating activity or task for each WBS. So when you're creating that activity, it will keep on asking you what type of duration type, percentage complete type, activity type, what is the number, etc. So it is better you create a default over here, and then you start creating activities without these all pop-ups. So the moment you click on activity, it will give you it will automatically take these defaults. It will ask you to work on something else, which is very important, not this. So that's why you need to create this. Though it is not important for a project creation or project, it is very, very good if you can complete this at this point and move on to this. Move on from to create a project and related activities. Now, to just a recap, we have created EPS, we have created OBS, and we have created a project. And we have assigned the concerned managers for EPS as well as for specific to this project. And now we got into defaults. What defaults we are talking about? Defaults are to be used for this entire project activities. Now, let's straight jump into general. What is general over here? So the project ID, project name you have added. Responsible manager, again, when we are creating the project, we have added. That's it, I think. Now, what are the different options over here? What is the status? The moment you put on this drop-down button, you click on this, you will have 4 different statuses. What is active? What is inactive? Probably by name itself, we will come to know that. Planned, what if? Active project, actively undergoing. Inactive, maybe we have stopped this project for time being, or it is not conducted or executed by us, maybe by some partner or vendor, but we just want to see in our project list. That's why we have added. In general, it is an inactive project, or we are not going to touch on that project. What is planned? When you click on planned and what if, when you click on what if, planned and what ifs are like you're just planning for that project. Normally, what if and planned type of projects are not real projects. Those are called opportunities or leads. We call that in our language as tender bids. So these are not the real projects. It's like you are talking about request for proposal, RFP. When you are getting some, you see on newspapers there is a bidding document or a tender notice. So you take that opportunity and you type in over here. You create your tenders, all tenders over here. All the tenders, opportunities or leads will be considered as a planned or what if projects. Now, planned, if you select planned and what if, what will happen is these type of projects will not considered for portfolio analysis, nothing else. It's simple. If you select the planned or what if type of status for every project, those projects will not be considered for a portfolio analysis because they are not real projects. We are not spending anything on that. We are not executing that. There is no point in bringing them into my portfolio and then worrying too much on them. So the moment you select a planned, it will not be into your analysis. And if you select what if, closely if you can observe, the moment I select what if, you can see here, there is a question mark. Now, see, now the question mark has gone. The moment I select a what if, there is a question mark here. What is this question mark and why what if? We have just discussed that what if is kind of an opportunity or kind of a lead we are talking about. In that again, opportunity or lead, what if projects are called R&D, research and development, new product development. We don't know what is the end date. We don't know where we are going to end up. We don't know what is the output. We don't know what is the success rate. So those all the projects will be considered under what if statuses. So simple. When you select planned and what if, they will not be under portfolio analysis. They will not be considered for portfolio analysis. The moment you select what if in that pool again, it will not be considered even for normal project analysis. They will not be visible for normal project analysis. We'll talk about what is the project analysis, and then in going forward, we'll see that. But in general note, the moment you select planned and what if, they are not, you can say they are a sleeping projects. In our pool of projects, this whole pool of projects, they are sleeping projects. We never know when they're gonna get up and start giving the revenue or giving the output. By the way, this screen we're talking about, I'm scrolling the screen, right? This screen is called EPS, Enterprise Project Structure Screen. Right. Just a recap, we have created EPS, OBS, and created a project, and we have created a defaults. We have added defaults, and then we are going into the defaults and general now. Now I am just selecting the active project, that is done, and now checkout, check-in status, nothing. The moment it is in default, it is check-in status. The moment you say checkout, that means you are checking out of this project. That means nobody will have access to this project other than you. So if you see that I have selected this project, I have checked out. If you see this, or if you read carefully, this will change the status of the project to checked out without exporting project information. Are you sure you want to change the status? Say yes. Can you observe here again? Let me zoom it. No, I don't think so. But can you see here? It's a checkbox. That means other than the current user, nobody will have the access to this. Now you will ask, the question should be, why there are options checked in and checked out? There are some projects that are confidential, and these projects should not be visible to everyone, even within the project team. They should not be visible to anyone till the project has completed a normal default setup, configuration, etc. So once I'm done with once the resource or user or the super user completed the project building, project configuration, defaults, etc., then he can come into the checked-in status. He can start giving the different access to different people. Otherwise, what happens is that if it is visible to everyone, everybody can come over here and they can change that. It's a human, right? You can change it in any way. And the bad thing about this is you don't know who has changed unless you go into the back end, and that back end in the sense database, and then pull out some report saying that who has done this and all. And in the front end also, front end means this screen, you can have that auditing capacity, but at this point let's not get into that. So a simple funda is that check in, check out. So I am blocking it. Checking out means I'm blocking this project for my editing purpose or for my security purpose. Once everything is done as per the client requirements or business requirements, I will give it to you guys or to the project team, and then you can start working on it. So it is always checked in, and that is the advantage of checked out status. Now if you put here, all the details will come over here. I mean, checked out by whom, data checked out, date checked out, etc. Now let's, sorry guys, project leveling priority. Let's not get into this now. This will come, we have to talk about project leveling, resource leveling, or activity leveling, etc. Let's not get into that now. Now, what is your project website URL? It's pretty simple. You can type in, say, your project, say your project name. If there is a specific website for that, you can put here, and automatically the moment you click on this, it will automatically launch that website. Nothing else. You put on here your URL specific to that project. If you have that, then you put on, just type in. It's nothing there. You just click on this and type in whatever you want to type. You can type, and then you click on launch. Now, by now you should have definitely one question. I'm adding these details. How to save? Where I'm saving it? There is no save button on the screen. I don't see that a small flip or a floppy. Now, if you see that, there is no saving button over here. All we have is, you have to go to the file. It's a simple. It's auto save. Whatever the data you enter, it is auto save. But still, if you want to confirm that the data has been saved, you better go to the file, that's the first menu button, file, and click on refresh data. That means you don't see that there is a small pop-up button will open up, but you don't see that. That's very fast, probably 1/500th a second. So the moment you click on the refresh data, that's it. Your data has been saved to the database in the backend, be it SQL, Microsoft SQL, or Oracle database. So now you have created EPS, you have created OBS, you have created a project, you have created a general defaults, etc. So the basic project skeleton or project template, you call that as. In general, we'll call that a template. What is a template? You can create some template up front, and then from there onwards, you can start using the template for everything, for every type of project, for every type of change, for every type of work, whatever you want to execute. So now we have created a project template, a simple project, which we can start, we can start using this project. Now, before getting into probably a 5-minute break, what I want to take you through is that in a normal window, what is this? There are so many toolbars, buttons, refresh bar, view bar, etc. I have not given that information up front or when I have started, because I just want you to get used to the screens, get used to the menu, the navigation. Now, this is the first one, is that when you open up that, you can see this file, edit, view, project, enterprise. This is menu bar, where you have all the menus. All the menus will be appearing over here. This is menu bar. This is menu bar. Okay. The second tab you are looking at, it is called toolbar. All the tools or functionalities or modules which you're gonna use from this toolbar. Okay, this is the one. On a general note, you can configure this toolbars to such an extent that, I am looking at the screen now. After probably 10 minutes, you will not be able to recognize the screen. In that level, you can configure the screen. You can move around. You can move around that. And you can, if you want, you can bring the menu bar to the probably to second level, and bring the the toolbar to the first level, etc. So these are the two menu bar toolbars on the top. That's on horizontal scale on the top. On your left side, that's the vertical bar. This is called the project bar. These are called project bar. Nothing. Menu bar and toolbar will be used to manage the global data. Global data is nothing but master data, and for the execution and monitoring or scheduling execution. That means after completing the whole project setup, you start updating the project, right? The progress is going on, you start updating. For that purpose, these two will be used. Or you can say the second toolbar. If you talk about the first one, this is for everything and anything it will be used. And if you talk about the left side vertical bar, this is only for the project specific related data. That means you will start entering resources. We'll go through that. But just remember, this is called project bar. Project bar. On your right side, there will be one more button that is called editing bar. Editing. So you say that, why editing? So with this editing bar, for any, be it in EPS space, the current page I'm talking about, EPS means, or be it in projects, activities, roles, resource space, wherever you are, doesn't matter. This is called editing bar. You can edit the content of the page according to your requirements. So this is called editing bar, project bar. The first one is on the horizontal line called menu bar, and this is called toolbar. So these are the navigation options. From here you can add anything, you can create anything, you can customize anything. Again, please remember, there are several ways to enter data or master data into a project, into not even project, into Primavera. There are so many means. Don't get confused that the same option why I'm getting again. Now example, you select our project, demo project. Can you see responsible manager over here? I can enter over here. Or when I have started creating this project, at that point I can enter over here. You go to probably People say that in Primavera, at least there are 4 to 5 ways to enter the data. For a same task or for same on a same place, you can enter 4 different ways. Okay, I think navigation is done, and what's left is just the view screen or the workspace. Now, if you see this project here, this is called view space. So now I am in EPS. Okay, I am in EPS. I am in EPS. So this is called my EPS, the top level EPS, and for the top level there are subgroups again. That normally, in a project language we call that as a WBS, but here we call that as a business unit or enterprise project structure. So I have I have six groups of business units in my organization or with my organization. So you can create anything. Here, this page is called workspace. Workspace, where you're gonna really start working, or you can work. Now, the moment you click on this plus symbol, or you can say expand all. So now you can see that on your right side here, there are green bars here. Okay, these are nothing but your time scale. What it is saying or what it is showing is that this project is going to start from 1st September 10, and it will go on for probably so many years. I mean, probably 2012, 2013, or 2013. So it's a simple, but if you see the dates over here, 1st September, finish date is 24 September 14. So it is all about the moment you change the dates, these green bars will change. And this part is called a simple bar chart or a Gantt chart. Bar chart is, why I am talking about bar chart is the language I am talking, guys. You need to remember the language slowly. It's not possible to remember everything in 1 day or in 2 hours, but start learning that language or start understanding and remember. So this is called a simple Gantt chart or a bar chart in olden days, but at this this project management world, we'll call this as a Gantt chart. G-A-N-T-T for those who have never heard about this word. Okay, now people probably wonder why there is a blue color over here and then yellow letters and then green here. Why this? I mean, this font, I'm not liking this font, I'm not like this, etc. Guys, you can customize anything, you can configure whatever the way you want it to, you can do that. So that is different story. That will be part of layouts here. This is the layout concept here that I don't want to get into that. Simple navigation is 1, 2, 3, 4 bars or layout or bars you have or buttons you have. The first one is simple menu, 2 on your left side is the project, and then on your right side is editing bar, and this whole window is called a workspace, and the small on your left side window or the workspace on left side you call that as an EPS structure. On your right side it's called as a Gantt chart. And I think that's it. Probably we have covered much over here. And don't worry about this total number of activities, strategic, prior, and all. These are like, some of them are auto, pretty much default. Some of them you have to enter some data. That is pretty fine. With that, I think yes. Sorry, there is a one point we need to remember. You know Chrome, right? Everybody pretty much aware of how Chrome operates, or even these days, you call Internet Explorer how it operates. It's all tab based. I click on a tab, and I click on a tab, and then one more tab. I can create any number of tabs. I can start working on different tabs. But recently, Primavera has given that option. All the users, people like us, there is an option. Example, how you see that? Now, can you see projects over here? I think everybody can see. And then on the right side, extreme right, you can see a click button. That's a tab. So how do you see? You go to any page on the menu, any button. You click on, say, projects. I have done that. You click on project portfolios. No, this one, sorry. You click on project activities. You click on resource assignments. Can you see that? there are multiple tabs which you can use. And just like our Chrome or Internet Explorer tabs, you can drag them to the position where you want to see. You can do that. And if you are done with this screen, you can click on this red strike button. That will get closed. Simple. It's pretty easy, but you guys need some real practice just on the navigation. You don't have to remember how to create the project, what is the best practices, do I need to know entire project management language? At this point, definitely no. What you need to know is that pretty much a configuration. The best way is to understand or remember that is to practice probably in a daily way, we can say 1 hour 45 minutes, definitely. A minimum of 45 minutes. You practice. Don't bother about what you are creating, what you are doing. Just navigate through that. That's it. You will be, you will be good. You'll be definitely a good resource in, as far as I'm concerned, in Primavera. Now that's the generic understanding of that, starting point as well as the next. With that, I think we can break for just 5 minutes. I'll just take a couple of glasses of water and then I'll reassemble, and then we can get into the real data, real project data, how you want to do, what you want to do, and all. There is a lot to it, and I am telling you guys, it's pretty much version, and not Primavera, any project management tool, any software is pretty much a version, and then we don't want to really get into the version of, in the middle. So we'll just take it, and then I'll give the overall view in the next 45 minutes. I'll just quickly go ahead and then create all the activities related to the project, and then get into the scheduling, and then what are the reports, etc. On a fly, I'll take you through that. I think 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, it's 9:12, probably 3 minutes. I'm going to come back at 9:15, guys. If you guys have some questions, please, please post it over here. 1 second, let me open that up. Can you please post it over here, and then I'll see that, and then end of the session, probably at 9:55, I'll start answering those questions to you guys. If you guys have any questions, please post over here, please. Guys, I'm back. Please confirm you guys are still available online. I had to take the break for 3 minutes because my throat is severely paining. So sorry for that. Ping over here, in chat box, just to send a small, simple message that you guys are available or ready to go. Guys, can you please confirm you guys are readily available and we can go ahead? All right. I think Vishal M has confirmed. All right, guys. I hope you guys are still available, so we are continuing. Please put your speakers or microphones on mute, please. Thank you. Right. So before getting into the before getting into again into deep details of Primavera application or a software, I think it's good that I should explain this. This question I just have, I just took from this meeting. Primavera in civil field, advantages or opportunities cases for new users after learning Primavera. What's the speed you are comfortable with? The speed which I am currently on to, is that fine, or you want me to control that a bit to lower level, or you want me to increase it to the next level? You just give me that. And then background of the participants. I need to know this because without knowing the background, I cannot change my pitch and I cannot change my tempo. I need to adjust the tempo because if people are predominantly people are from civil engineering background or from IT or mixed, then I can relate those examples. And I am from engineering and construction. I'm a core civil engineer, but everything is into my experience is into IT, so I can give a lot many examples both in civil engineering as well as in IT. So last two questions, that's the speed or my pace as well as your background is very critical to complete this demo and then going forward all the classes or the trainings. Now the first question is Primavera in civil field. I'll just give you one simple statistics or couple of statistics to understand the value of Primavera. Primavera has started in 1984. As of today in 2016, the number of users has grown to probably to billion users. In that, if you take what is the percentage that in civil engineering, I can say roughly 75 to 80%, only civil engineering. And for all the civil engineers these days, all the civil engineers, maybe they're from BTech or BE. In fourth year or third year, these softwares, Microsoft Project and Primavera and some other tools are there, but predominantly Primavera is mandatory for them to learn before coming out of the college. And those who knows the project management or executing the project as a site engineers or construction engineers, except in India, except India, most of the developed countries or most of the Middle East countries, there is a clause in the contract documents that you have to use or you must use Primavera P6 to execute your project. So if that is the clause or if that is the situation, now tell me, for every project, so there are some engineers required who knows Primavera to be part of that project. That means if you know this tool or this software Primavera P6, you are obviously ahead of the other engineers or other civil engineering guys or site engineers, construction engineers, whoever it is, that you will be definitely 10 steps ahead of them. So that's a simple scenario I'm giving you. So you have a CV, on your CV, you know Primavera P6, you have a certificate saying that you have learned this Primavera P6 from whatever the organization you say that. Currently we're talking about XLR, that's our organization. If you take that certification from our consulting company, and then you go there, we are not saying that you'll definitely get that or not, but this is an added advantage all the time. You go with them showing that you have that capability in Primavera P6, you are obviously ahead of them, ahead of so many people. And just for your information, people say it is very complex tool, it's very difficult to understand, it's a complex navigation, etc. No, absolutely nonsense. No. It is very easy, provided you have to put some effort in practicing. Also, you need to know the language, project management language, if you don't know something. If you know a little bit of project management, or if you guys are from project management background or PMP aspirants, then it is very easy to understand this tool. It's all about practicing, understand the terminology, language, that's it. It is very easy. It's pretty, not easy, you can say. It's not complex. It's definitely not complex. You can practice probably a couple of times and you know what is in this navigation, where to go, what to do, etc. It's easy. Now, Primavera and civil field, as I discussed with you guys, this is the best tool. Not exactly civil engineering, and most of the mechanical operations. You go to the oil and gas where you have or oil and gas rigs operations, etc. This is the most used tool. Now, there are so many jobs in India or outside India. There are jobs saying that simple. There is a simple saying that you need a planning engineer. Inadvertently, the requirement is to know Primavera. If you don't know Primavera, then you are not fit for that to work as a planning engineer or to be attending that interview. So it's a simple that you need to know Primavera to be to work as a planning engineer. Or you talk about scheduler, planning engineer, cost controller, etc. That's a civil engineering language. Now, if you say that it's only for civil engineering industry, why not for IT? Yes, IT too. So you have an IT, there are so many projects, and just for your information, in IT, normally we talk about humans, not much of materials, not much of machines, etc. It is most of the time we talk about resources, that is human resources, and their their billing or number of hours, everything related to the human. So here again, it is a very, very effective tool. And the problem is that it has been used by civil engineering, and civil engineering, all civil engineering projects are huge in. I'm talking about the the budget or the pricing is huge in nature, that they cannot compete with IT projects. That's the reason people talk about Primavera means civil engineering. No, it's not right, but it's the most used tool in civil engineering industry, and it is most demanding tool for all the people who want to be part of that engineering world or civil engineering construction industry. I think I have covered that again, advantages, opportunities for new users after learning Primavera. If the new user is from civil engineering, then there are abundant opportunities. Again, the same with IT. There is a small statement you guys must understand or should remember. In IT, there are a couple of roles available for Primavera users. One is front-end users. Front-end, the moment you say front-end or end users, we call them as users who use this application to work on a project. Okay, that can be like civil engineers, that can be IT, IT engineers who put the projects, who put the resources, etc. And there is a second section in IT that's called an implementation engineers. Those who are the guys who will install the software in a company, who will configure it as per the company requirements, and then come out of that company. That's it. So you have installed that software, you have completed the configuration as per the business requirements, and come out of that. Who will use that software? We have just talked about them. That is civil engineers and our end users who will use this software to enter day-to-day information. So there are a couple of opportunities in IT that way, but to get into the implementation and all, you need a lot of knowledge in IT or software as well as in Primavera. That's pretty much technical. At this point, we don't want to discuss about that. We are talking about the front end, easy, how to get into that. Now, probably after this demo, I know those who are going to continue and all, we will take the speed or the pace on which I'm explaining, so you can give the kind of a feedback, and background of the participant that I think collect from. So, guys, 1 second. One second, guys. I think I am sharing.
We can't see your screen, please.
Can you see my screen now?
Not yet.
All right. I can see that saying that go to meeting close screen sharing is sharing your screen. And I don't know, is there any technical difficulty? I don't see that yet. One second, guys. I don't know what is the problem, but let me stop it and then.
In between it came, it gone back.
All right. I think now you guys can see it, but you have to wait for some time, I think. Just confirm when you guys can see the screen.
No, I'm not able to see the screen.
I don't know. I mean, yes, I have shared the screen. I don't know what's the reason, but I can see here that my screen has been shared to all the participants.
No.
Okay, let me again join back. Oh, what is this? I don't know what is this, but let me rejoin. If Irshad is on call or okay, I got that now. Okay. Now I think I can. I can hear you guys. Can you confirm you guys can see my screen? Right. Okay. Now, as we discussed a couple of minutes back, that advantages, opportunities, Primavera and civil field, that's I think we are done. And you guys need to give me kind of a feedback on the pace in which I am giving the training. And I need to know the background of the participants going forward so that I can have some kind of an example. Say if the guys are not having much project management background, then probably I can bring the project management expertise where I'm talking about the Primavera application and then the functionalities or modules. That is very critical to learn this tool, especially Primavera P6, please. With that, I will jump into application quickly, an overall approach, not in detail, but overall approach. Okay, this is the last scene, I think, where we were. I'm going into the project demo. Okay, let me come back and I'll show you that how to open project. Now, if you see this project, it is in open state or open folder. Now, you go to the file and click on close all. You click on it and then you search for your project. This is my project. Click on the project. You either right click over here and click on open project, or you click on this project or a folder, you go to the file and then you click on open. There will be a new window get open. It will open over here, or you can select and you can open it. So there are simple ways, but normally this is the best way. You click on, you right click it, click on open project, and that's it. You can see the activity screen over here. The moment you select open the project option, you will get the default activities tab. We call this as a tab, activities tab. But is that the place we want to go directly? No, we don't want to go into activities because you have a project, okay, say a construction, or you say a flyover project. In a flyover project, you cannot just directly enter the activities. So there is that's a huge project. The scope is too big. Now, you need to break down the scope into manageable levels. That is called work breakdown structure. So, when you click on the project here, just click on with your left button on mouse, and there is a blue button here. Can you see that? There are two square boxes here. You click on that, or you put your cursor over here, it will give you the name, WBS. You click on that, and then you go to the general, okay? You just go over here, and again, as we discussed, on your right side, there will be an editing bar. You click on that, then your WBS will be coming over here. So now, what is this WBS code? What code you want to give? Maybe say, I'll say 1. What is the WBS name? Say phase 1. You want to put phase 2. You can put that, but see, it has gone, as a child, into phase 1. Remember, this hierarchy is very important, very, very important. Under phase 1, there is a new WBS, say phase 2. But this is not my child, right? This is not my child. Right, that's cool. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just looking at that. So now if you see over here, okay, this is like, if you see there is a small dotted line that says it's a child-parent relationship. And my phase 1, phase 2 are not child and parent. They are at a parent level, or you can say sub. Okay, now how do you bring that to a same level? Can you see over here on your right side? But again, remember guys, you want to edit something, you have to get into a right screen or right side of the bar, that is edit bar. Can you see a blue arrow? Move left. Move left. Can you see now? That dotted line now coming from project folder. Now, if you want to create some child WBS under phase 1 again, like the next level of that, then you click on plus over here. The moment you click on this, then it will be one more dotted line under that. So the code should be 1.1, and you can say level 1 underscore phase 1. So what you are trying to say, under phase 1 I have level 1. So if you want level 2, what you can do, you click on this. In default it becomes a child, so you have to push this. You have to push this button, and then here you copy this or you edit it, you say level 2. Then this will be 1.1.2. This numbering is very important, guys. Sorry. This numbering is very important to identify your WBS or the right WBS for your project. So what is your project? Demo 1, Demo 2 or 2 WBS. What is there under Demo 1 WBS? Level 1, Level 2. So you have created your WBS. So now the same thing. Now general, what is there in WBS earned value, spending plan and all that we will see, that's pretty much advanced level at this point. Don't touch that. So you have created WBS. Now the flow is EPS, OBS, project, WBS. Now what's next? Going into activities. Now I am in WBS page. Let's say I'm gonna remove this. I'm in WBS page. Now how do I go to activities page? How do I see my activities page? You don't see this here. So there are again so many ways to access, so many ways to enter the data. The first way is to go into project. Remember guys, when you are talking about a global data, that is called master data, or like enterprise data, projects, that and all, you have to go into enterprise. But once you get into a project, you should never ever touch enterprise. You should always go to project. So now go to project. What you want to do? You want to add tasks for each WBS. What you have done? You have created a project. Under created, you have divided your scope into 3 pieces. WBS 1, WR phase 1, phase 2. Under phase 1 now, you know a little scope, what you call broken up that, the entire scope has been broken down into 2 phases. Now phase 1 is small. Under that phase 1, you can decide that whether I want to go ahead again one more WBS. No, it is not required. Okay, fine. Then go into activities. For phase 1, you decide what are the number of activities. It will come from your experience. If not, probably your superior will give you the details. Now, you see this, this color coding and all, don't worry about the next step, what I'm going to do. This is for my convenience. I will explain to you guys, probably later part. Right. Now, right. Now, if you see this, you zoom it, and then there are so many details that it is visible, and everybody is thinking, no, there are so many things here. Where do I do? What do I do? And all. Don't worry about anything. Now, what we have created in WBS, go to the WBS tab. You remember this? Demo project is my project. Under that phase 1, and under that level 1, level 2. You come over here. You just see this. Demo project. One second, guys. One second. I think I don't want make you guys to confuse. Now, if you see this, demo project is my project. Under that, there is a phase 1 WBS. Under that, level 1. That's my sub WBS, last level of WBS. And again, there will be a phase 1, and then this is a WBS. Now, you want to add activity. For that, first of all, you have to select that. Select the WBS where you want to add the activities. Now, you have selected level 1, and again, where you will add activity, where you will add the WBS, where you will add project, it is always right side. That's called edit bar. You click on plus again. Okay, there is an activity. Okay, 1 second, guys. There is an activity. There is an activity here. It will appear like this. Okay, if you see this, it will appear like this. You click on this. Okay, there is another way, adding activities and all, but this is the straight and a general way. You click on this. Now, why it is appearing DP here? Why it is appearing 1000? If you remember that, when you are creating a project, I have given a default. My project code should be DP. My project number, activity number should be 1000. It should start with 1000 number. Okay. Okay. Let me even don't look at this and. Okay. Now, if you see this, I have added first activity here. What is my activity name? I'll just zoom it. What is my activity name? By the way, if you see this, these buttons, you can manage it just like an Excel. Nothing but Excel. Don't worry about anything. If you know how to add something in Excel, you learn this. You are, in fact, you have learned already if you know Excel. So if you see level 1, phase 1, you have added this activity. How do you do in Excel? If you want to enter something, double click it. You say double click. You enter activity 1. What is the duration you want to enter? 2 days. What is the date, start date of my activity? Say Monday 1st. This you don't have to enter, automatically it will calculate. Now, you want to enter one more activity, you can add. You can add. You can add. But if you see carefully what is happening here. My activities are not going in a right direction. See, 1000 is here, 1030 here. Do that. You want to bring, first activity 1000, next activity 1010, 1020, etc. How do you do? You go here, you click on, you see activity ID, activity name, you select this portion, only this portion. You click on here, that's it. Can you see a small window or a button here, a triangle button? That is ascending, descending, ascending, descending. Same way for activity name, ascending, descending. So in general, you always do the ascending, descending with activity ID. That is called numbering of the activity. So my activities are ready. Now you want to copy, double click copy activity 2, or you want to enter just plain activity 3. And then you can enter that details activity 4. You have entered, and then probably you can enter this duration as per the requirements, 12, and then say 3. You have added that. You have added your activities. That is absolutely fine. By the way, you have to look carefully at your right side. That's called Gantt chart. See, the activities are coming. These are called activities. This is activity. You click on this, it will take you there. You click on this, it will move. But, okay, you have added these activities. It is absolutely fine. You have done that. That's fine. But what's next? Which activity you are going to execute first? Which activity is going to execute second? What is the dependency? Okay, you can execute directly third activity, you can execute second activity, or you can execute fourth. What is that called? You cannot do activity number 3 first. You cannot do activity number probably later. No, there is a dependency. There is kind of a interdependency from activity 1 to activity 2. Those all pretty much there are so many linkages, interdependencies all called. That whole point or whole status or whole circulation, we call that as relationship. Like when you are going to purchase something, what do? You don't directly go to a store and you purchase something. You verify that online, you check online, you check reviews, you do that. First you will purchase and then you will do the review, or you will check review and then you'll verify the price and then you will purchase. So there is, right, that order, we call that as a relationship. So for this, we have to add the relationship. Now, you see, go to the general, you observe here activity type, duration type, physical percentage complete activity calendar. From where these are picking up? It is from the project defaults which we have given when we are creating the project. Now, can we create a direct activity first? No, you cannot create, but you should have something that is called a milestone. Okay, that is a start milestone. Guys, carefully watch over here. Okay, I'm going to general. I am selecting start milestone. Carefully watch the start and finish columns here for new activity. I'm clicking on start milestone. That's it. Can you see over here? No finish date, only start date, and automatically original duration has become 0. You cannot, no, I'm double clicking it, by the way. You may not be able to see that or hear the voice, my clicking voice, but I am trying to enter something, but it is not allowing. That means default Primavera is saying, boss, for new activity which is of start milestone type, you should not enter duration, you should not enter resources, because milestone will not have any resources. It is a simple event. It's a trigger. I have selected as a, say, project start. I have started my project, but can you see here my activity number has messed up. Instead of adding first, I have added in between. So now it's my responsibility to change the coding. How can I change the coding? There is no way you can change the coding. So example, I am adding 990. See, but still it is not moving. Okay, it is not moving. It's not going to the top. The only way what I can do is I can change this to the first activity to 1005. I can change this to now to 1000. So that it will be in order 1000, 1005, 10, 20, 30. So it is very, very important that you need to know what are the activities, tasks you need to create in the project upfront immediately. Otherwise, you are creating the activities, in between you got to know, oh, I need to create some activities, but you end up in managing these activities with small odd numbering code or activity IDs. So don't get into that. So follow a systematic procedure, you will be able to do that. Jump on to the project start now. Once it is done, we are talking about relationships. Now, if you watch carefully, on your left side predecessors, on your right side successors. There is two tabs are there, or tables, you can consider that. Now, what are the different type of relationship? This is out of everything in Primavera or project execution. If you ask me, I'll say that I'll give a rating of, probably I'll give 10, the importance I'm talking about. This relationships is very, very important and crucial, very crucial to have your project ready and efficient. If you don't give the right relationships, you do defaults very carefully, you create, you edit something, you do the entry, data entry, you will not be able to achieve what you want to achieve with Primavera P6. Relationships are at most important. Now, what are the type of relationships you have? Finish to start. You finish that first activity and then only you start the activity. Or start to start. You start that first activity and immediately side by side you start this activity, second activity also. That is second type. Third type, start, finish. You start that activity, by the time you start that first activity, you should complete the second activity. This type of relationship is in general, very rare, but nobody uses. But still, in general sense, we need for, some kind of an activities, but we have added that. Or not we, in fact, project management, people have added that. For your information, guys, this is not specific to Primavera, this is specific to project management. These standards had come from project management. Primavera application has built on project management or PMBOK. Now, the last relationship is finish to finish. Activity 1 must be finished. And by the time the activity 1 is getting finished, you should also look at that finishing status of the second activity. So activity 1 and activity 2 should be finished at the same time or on same date. That is finish to finish. So on a recap, we'll say finish to start, which is the standard, a generic, a default relationship type. 95% of the activities will be used that type. And rest 5% will be for 3 types. That is start to finish, and finish to finish. Now, we will just go by the default. Now, what is my predecessor? What is my successor? Predecessor is the, the first or before activity. Successor is my next activity. Now, I selected first activity, that is project start. Now, tell me here, is there any predecessor for this? No. This is the only predecessor. This is the first activity. Now, for this, what is the next activity? If I say project start my activity 1. So how do you do that? You can expand this window. You click on this, you can get this, and then simple. Don't worry about that. Now, click on assign. You will get this window. Which activity you want to assign as a successor for project start, that is EP1000, activity 1. You click on this, enter. So it will be visible. You don't have to close. You move on to the second activity. Click on this DP1005. For activity 1, what is my predecessor? Already it has come from the first activity. It is auto, right? For project start, there is an DP1005, that is a successor. It will automatically become your predecessor already. So go to the second activities. There is a predecessor here. What is the predecessor? Project start. But what is successor for activity 1, activity 2? What we are saying then, project start must be finished. then only you can start activity 1. Activity 1 must be finished, then only you can start activity 2. That is the default we are giving. We are just giving, I'm just going to go there. Click on activity 3, give activity 4. Click on activity 4. Okay, sorry guys. So till activity 4 we have assigned the resources. Now let's take a scenario that after activity 4 I'm finishing my project. So you have to add one more activity. Guys, you should be by this time. I'm creating one more activity, but I'm going to the general. I'm saying my activity, because I'm finishing my project, that's called finish milestone. If you see here, I don't have the start date for finish milestone type. I don't have the start date. I only have finish date. If you look at the project start date, I only have start date but no finish date. So it is automatically taking that milestone consideration. Now you are done. Now I'm just editing it. Project finish. So you finish the project. Now going back to the relationships, and then you click on activity 4 and assign this one. You are saying project finish. Project finish. So you have assigned the relationships till this point. And now what is your first task after completing this is to click on refresh data. There are some ways, normal Windows, F5, function key 5, you can click on that, it will refresh the data. Now if you see that, can you see on your right side, it is still green on same level. Everything is going to start 1st August, 1st August, 1st August. Are you sure? Even after giving the relationship, it is again starting on the same date, all activities? No. The most used button in Primavera is F9. F9. That is under tools, okay, schedule. That is under tools, schedule. Now if you click on this, I am clicking F9, okay, or schedule. You can go here, schedule. There is a button here, current data date. Don't worry about anything else. Just look at current data date. What is the current data date? Current data date is nothing but my current date, today's date, where I want to see, or on the current date or on a specific date, I want to see my progress of my project, or I want to see my project progress. So if I select 1st August, because my project has not yet started, so I'm selecting the same. I want to see as of today, and then you have to click on schedule. Guys, I'll repeat this again. This is very important. You have given the relationships, everything is done. You go to the tools, you schedule it, and then you select the date on which you want to see the project progress or project status, and click on schedule. Be careful. The moment, remember guys, be careful, be careful. There is no Control Z. There is no Control Z. I'm repeating that, Control Z is not available. The moment you select some date and schedule, everything will change. Everything will change, and there are cases that at least 1.5 to 2 crores of penalty that has been imposed on the contractor just because of this simple step. That is the value, that is the importance to this step, please. So you cannot change, you cannot put some date just like that and schedule in real-time world. But for our practice, we can give any date. Even for 2099, you can give any date. So I'm selecting the today's date or project start date. I want to see that date, and I'm clicking on simple schedule button. Can you see now? Guys, can you see? 1st August, my project is starting on the same day. Like, I say, okay, start the project, 1st August. I started activity 1. Probably because of 2 days, I'm going to finish my project on 2nd day. Okay, don't think that, I start, that is 1st August, 2 days means 1st plus 2, 3. That means 3rd August. No, that is not the calculation. I am starting on 1st August, that is 1 day, and I'm finishing 2nd August, that means I'm starting on 2nd August morning 9 o'clock till 6 p.m. That means 2nd day, 2 days. I consider 1st August and 2nd August. Now, after 2nd August, end of the 6th or end of the time 6 p.m. next morning, 3rd August 10 p.m. I come, 10 a.m. I'll come. I'll start working for activity 2. That is going to last for 10 days. So when it's going to finish, 6th August. 16th, sorry. Why? You click on this, just calculate. I'm going to start from 3rd. third, 1, 2, 3. Saturday, Sunday is holiday. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 16th August. So you're going to change 16th August. There is a one more approach, guys. If you want to change this, you can change cancel, but sorry, you can change probably 17th, but it won't take that value because you are not supposed to put any date without duration. You want to change the original duration, put 11 over here. It will become 17. Guys, I hope I'm not going too fast here. If you want to change any date, finish date and all, you have to calculate that, you have to enter here. 12. Whatever the changes you do, okay, you change it something. The most important button, as I said again, you have to press F9 to see the changes in August and 12. If you see here, guys, if you see here, it will appear here. You know, now, if you see these relationships are not matching, there is a button here, it will appear, you click on this, now you can see the arrows and all. Earlier, all are green, okay, on your right side, Gantt chart, all were green. Now, why all were red? All were red here. All activities, first activity, activity 1, activity 2, activity 3, activity 4, all were red. Okay, why? It is because they are considered as considered as critical activities. Now my project is on critical path. That's a project management language. Critical path is nothing but the moment you delay on critical path I'm talking about. Whatever the activities you call red, okay, you see as a red, if you delay this red activity for some time instead of 2 days, if you finish that in 3 days, your entire project will get delayed. Whatever the red activity you see here, if you delay that activity, your entire project will get delayed. That's called critical path. And whatever the activities you are looking at as a red, all belongs to that critical path. That's a project management concept, guys. So now you have created activities, you have given the relationships, you have scheduled the project. F9 is called schedule, guys, schedule. You have scheduled the project and now you see your what you call red lines. Okay, you see your entire project in a good shape. Now, since we don't have much time, I'll just recap that. I'll just see what are the next steps. The next steps for this project is you have assigned the relationships. Now it is your responsibility to put the resources for each activity. As I said, these are task dependent. That means to execute this activity, you need some time, you need some material, you need some machines, you need some humans. So that part, resources, you have to add resources in this tab. And also there will be, see, don't say that for every work it is always like a simple money, simple machine, simple resources it will be done. No, there will be overheads. In general, overheads will be there. Example, if you want to purchase a laptop, you are going to go to the shop. There are some expenses which you might not be considered. Example, a parking fee, 3 rupees, which you really don't consider, but still that is a cost to you, right? That is called overhead. So that also you have to add, but there is a separate place where you will add that is called expenses. Overheads, expenses and all. These resources, expenses, and for every activity risks, and then feedback, steps, notebooks. There are so many things which we are going to add, but predominantly very much important is relationships, and second, resources and expenses, and then risks, etc. But if you can say that I have created my EPS, OBS, and then project, and then I have added the defaults, and then I have created my WBS, I have created activities, and then I have assigned the relationships, then I have assigned the resources, I can say you are pretty much done in Primavera when you talk about one single project. So you have created a project finish, you are done. Once you have completed with relationships and source, everything, whatever you say, that all the data entry, the next step, you say all the data entry is done, the next step is to baseline it. What do you mean by baseline? It's a simple benchmark. Boss, I have added, for last 3 months I have worked on this project, entering everything, planning I'm talking about. It's all called planning. I'm entering everything, I have added resources, everything, risk, expenses, everything I have added. For last 3 months I have worked on this. Now this is final, that's it. I don't want to talk, I don't want to change anything. This is final. I am sending this to client for his approval. He will look at this, okay, final dates. What are my final dates, my project? I'll just, collapse all. My project start date is 1st August and my finish date is 8th September. That's it. My client will see this. Okay, fine guys, I'm giving the contract, sorry, I've already given the contract. I'm approving the start date and finish date. That's it. Now you execute this project in real-time world, and now I will look at all time only these 2 dates. 29 days I'm giving time for you guys. That's it. That is called baselining or benchmarking. We'll say in Primavera it's a baselining, or even in project management or a PMBOK language we'll say it's a baseline. So you have done that baseline work. After baseline again, you start updating it. You go here, go to the every activity. Maybe may not be Samba, maybe some other, probably some other resource. Who will come, who will take this project. He will say, okay, this project 1st August. I'll go here. There is a tab called status. Okay, he'll start entering this real-time data from daily progress report, daily activity. So the project will keep on moving. Then we will go into, there is a place where we'll see that, tools where we'll see the reporting. You go to the reporting, you'll see what are my activity status, what are my activities, how many activities are really, completed, not yet completed, behind the date, ahead of the date, etc. All type resources, how many resources I have consumed till now, how much money I have spent, everything you can get from the reports. And then, you can take a printout, guys. You can see here, there is a printout icons. You can take printouts, you can send it online, you can send it email, you can take a PDF copy, whatnot. Those all are pretty much execution. I'm talking about only planning. Now, we have not yet completed, by the way, planning. We have just finished, our resources. We have just finished the relationships. Probably, tomorrow going forward, we'll talk about in detail resources, what all tabs you need to touch, why these tabs you need to complete first, why not, second, why not third, etc. And there are some languages you need to know. Project management language as Primavera terminology you need to know. Slowly we'll do that. Just, the first class, I want to give an overview how, application looks, look and feel, navigation, different options and all. These all are main ones, and I'm sure we are going to touch pretty much, 100%, if not 100%, say 95%, we'll touch all the buttons. So make sure that, you guys are comfortable with Primavera. If people ask you about, Primavera, definitely end of this online session or, whatever, end of this training, you will be able to say, yes, I know Primavera. I know how to use, how to operate, how to configure. I think with that, probably today we'll close. I'm sorry, 3 minutes I have taken, additional or extra from you guys. Sorry for that. And with this, I think we can close this session for today. And based on feedback, based on your what you call the background of your your background, and then the feedback on my pace, content, the examples, etc. Probably, if you have more and more questions, probably make it from tomorrow. With that, probably, guys, I'm gonna say good night and come back tomorrow. If you have any questions, and we're gonna continue tomorrow. Thanks, guys. That's it from my end. Thanks. See you guys tomorrow.
See you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, guys.
Thank you.